the Black House Fire Radio. And yes, man, say, Wagwan. Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, they are reaching out to all the massive on the African continent and in YouTube. The Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, massive.
Niko club na mapeng wanataka kunidress usijans mina kamsize kata inadai atenje inadai lakini usoke mita kamsize niliga sina ID na banza akiuliza web shop mita kamsize ati sita ati don't mind niko club na mapeng wanataka kunidress usijans mina kamsize kata inadai atenje inadai lakini usoke mita kamsize sina ID na banza akiuliza web shop mita kamsize nita colorblind but this yanaingia colors na between school na career niko balance cause I'm the big man with a big swag ningekuwa ndula ningeitwa New Balance between life from school career bitch I made like 4M goja sasa this year niliomba sauti yangu ikuwe salary engineer sana big dog kibakwa nasikia approach with a caution kama silencer una demu huku nje sezi manager wanaanza kuniita ati hali shots zangu zote kuwa loaded niko ndani big shots nigga mazigzag nigga ngani zangu wote utawainisha siku kwa ndege kitu na beach time lapse ya jet lag so I don't give a fuck ati don't mind me it's a club na mapeni wanataka kunitrace na kamsize kata inadai atenje inadai kifuke nita kamsize mimi na Jerry tuko kama bling doba zetu mboaya si ndo real deals eno bana ziko chini si ndo makimpin chuma ilale ndani kaina 15 mama unipa kanji yona ita pimpin konyolo kapana we drinking imefunga kilemba kama sisi banja sana kuna venye unanipiska mkojo kwa puff girl mido mojojojo venye ziko shodo na zifikisha kalojo angalau come from na niko na magune mpaka situkidikita mitambo yo haga na ndani kama donda na mlango jabana mix ni doba za kitambo kibisa magera njichi kafambo atenje inadai lakini usoke mita kamsize sina ID na banza akiuliza web show nita kamsize nita
don't mind me. Yes, karibuni sana. Good afternoon. Grand Rising. Yes, this is the media of the 21st century, the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. And of course, you're tuned in onto the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, of course, your lovely host. Every Monday to Friday, this is how we get to do it. From 12:30 to 1:30. Today, we're a little bit late, but better late than never. That is a very amazing, famous quote, of course, used by many. 38 minutes past the top of the hour. And of course, karibuni to today's conversation. To everyone who's on YouTube, on Twitter, on Amazon, on the show page, on Roku TV, on TikTok. Karibuni sana, big up to you. Hope you guys mko fiti. Shout out to Menisha Sister Music, hope you're doing great, and also everyone on the radio station, and to those who get to catch the show on Spotify and Spreaker. Once again, grand rising to all our Black Hot Fire diaspora family, and of course, good afternoon to all the amazing 254 people. On today's conversation, we shall be talking about teenage pregnancies in Africa, which have actually risen, and that this conversation is actually coming due to a focus or a current actually report that is coming from Kenya, and it's actually a launch of report that has actually so far been able to capture how many teenage pregnancies do we have. And I feel like for me, when you talk about teenage pregnancies, it's actually a very amazing conversation, especially being a woman and seeing how I've been able to escape all this. Something we spoke about, I think that was yesterday, if I'm not wrong. We did speak something about that. How do you escape poverty, how do you escape some of the things? And I said exposure is one of the things actually, or one of the ways that has been able to make me escape majority of the things. So our main focus today shall be going to teenage pregnancies in Africa, which are actually on the rise. And I'd say for me, that is actually leading to more poverty. Because if you look at teenage pregnancies, number one, let's talk about who are you pregnant by as a 14-year-old child or girl? Because actually you are a child. As a 14-year-old child, as a 13, 16-year-old child, who are you pregnant for? Are these people financially actually stable to take care of your kid and all that? Or is it going to be again the same cycle repeated of where you're not able to raise your child, now you go back to even a low quality lifestyle because you're trying to actually live according to your means, that is you and your baby? It's a lot of questions that you have to ask yourself, and also to those who actually impregnate also these kids, because this is not all about just how capable you are of taking care of a child, how mature you are, how much of finances you have. This is actually child abuse. If you try to look at it, I'd say this is sexual assault, not child abuse, but this is sexual assault in a very big way, and which is actually a discussion. And I'd say to date, it has been made a norm. We have so many raping cases where we have men walking scot-free saying that I committed this crime because of how the girl was dressed. Now you left someone pregnant, they're gonna have to take care of that child, or if not, probably abort. You know, like, what is that? What type of a society are we normalizing? And also to this, because you'll find majority of them actually, it has gotten to the point where we have fathers, uncles, teachers, coming to even lecturers, and even in the offices where people are taking advantage of other young girls, like literally, or young girls literally, and preying on them and seeking sexual actually advantages to benefit them in whatever favor they are asking for, which is so crazy. So that is our main conversation for today. I'll be sharing, of course, a few details, articles, and videos regarding that, but we shall also come back and talk about Tinubu ordering a release of the child protest that is actually in Nigeria, where we see that actually there was a protest of the cost of living, and we had some teenagers who are participating on this, and Tinubu has actually ordered their release immediately. And if you try look at the condition majority of these kids are in, despite them actually being released, there's a big change that actually needs to be done to the people of Nigeria, because they're not really doing okay. We shall also discuss about Mauritius, which has reversed its decision to block all the access to social media. That is actually something that said, I think on Friday night, if I'm not wrong. I did report that when we were going on with the show. We shall also discuss what is happening in Liberia, which is looking for to reduce the rice importation by 45%. That is something positive, and I believe the rest of the African countries should be able to do so. Last but not least is about Dangote oil refinery at oil refinery project, of course, which has been successful in the country. He has gone ahead to deduct actually the cost of prices of fuel. And we have people who are criticizing this and calling it inconsiderate, based on the fact that the refinery enjoyed massive concession of access of foreign exchange during the construction of the refinery. So we shall talk about that, because African countries and its people, again, like I said last week, there's a lot of disrespect that we've really embraced so much. And until you actually realize you have a voice, you demand a change, things are going to remain and maintain the same way. Like nothing is going to ever change until you realize the power you have in you, until you realize you have a voice, you can talk, until you realize actually how you can make a stand. Then people are still going to keep on stepping on you. And that is literally Africa and its people. You're going to be stepped on, you're going to be disrespected, you're going to be looked down upon, you're going to be seen like you're not worthy of actually even governing yourself. Like we've had so many videos of white people saying that we can't govern ourselves as a continent, but we have the capability. We just need to prove them wrong. But yes, that is our conversation for the day. Shout out to Mr. Black on Fire on TikTok. Karibu Sana. Hope you're doing great today. Keith, shout out to the VLAN 15. Hope you're doing great as well. Kindly tap the screen for me, guys, as we get to move on to the conversation. Back to one more jam, and of course I'll be coming back with the quote of the day as we get started. Share something positive that you have there. Keep Tuesday. I'm already on Thursday. Keep the Tuesday flowing easy, Nice and easy. And of course, let me know where you're also streaming with us from. And if this is your first time, kindly follow the live creator. Ensure you also download our app, which is very easy to find on the Google Play Store. And in case you're wondering, what benefits does the app come with? After this short musical break, I'll be letting you, because we're talking about cash prices, we're talking about merchandise, we're talking about, actually, we'll talk about merchandise. I'm wearing one of them. This is the Black Hot Fire hat, which you can find, of course, on our application. And we're also talking about amazing organic supplements. So I'm coming back, putting you guys on, and ensure you purchase our amazing supplements. This is Otile Brown with, of course, Darasa, one of my favorite jams. We're coming back with a quote of the day after this short musical break. Hey. Yes, and of course, if you want to listen to more catches tonight, that is on the Culture Show, me, myself, and Kamlesh, of course, right here on the media of the 21st century. I tell you, this is the best radio station because we get to speak nothing but the truth, which you can't get actually. Which you can't actually get anywhere, you know. But yes, but like I said, I'll be coming back with the quote of the day, man. I tell you, it's the main character. Period. I tell you. My quote of today says, change can be scary, but you know what's scarier? Allowing fear to stop you from growing, evolving, and progressing. That is my quote of the day. Change can be scary, which is very scary. That's why when you take a risk, actually, you feel scared because you don't know what is coming, you don't know what to expect, and all that. That is change. Change is very scary, but you know what's scarier? Allowing fear to stop you from growing, evolving, and progressing yourself. Because I feel like if you look at actually, just as we get into the African continent and its people and what is happening with today's conversation, I feel like it's fear that has led us to so many situations because we don't question, we allow things to be just the way they are, like there's nothing going on in terms of questioning. There's no risk being taken on change. Literally, there's no risk being taken. It's more fear. There's actually lack of growth amongst us because, again, because the fact we have fear, you won't see growth. If you have fear, if you don't take a risk, you'll never see growth. You're going to maintain the same place forever and ever. And that has been Africa. Despite the different changes of presidents and all that, we're still the same place. Because of fear, we've lacked growth. And last but not least, evolving and progressing. We have other countries talking about how they are cooperating with us, how they want to actually feature with us in different various things. Trade, investment, cooperation is the term they love using again. But there's nothing, no evolving, no progress have I seen from the continent itself or to its people. It is super crazy. But I hope you stay blessed with that, and I hope you change actually your mindset, get rid of fear, and keep it pushing. But of course, as we get started, I want to start with Nigeria. And like I said, of course, we shall be talking about teenage pregnancies as our main conversation because I feel like this is what has led to so much poverty in Africa. Like, just being realistic, I feel like poverty has been the teenage pregnancy has been the main key factor of the massive growing poverty in most of the African countries. Literally, or in the African continent itself. If you look at majority of the countries, you follow up the people who are in poverty and look at their stories, it's all actually going back to teenage pregnancies. But before we get to that, like I said, ensure you have our application on your phone. And of course, I said I'm going to let you know, you guys, what is the advantage of having our application. Number one, once you have our application, like I said, this is the best app, the best radio station you can ever tune into. One thing I love about our app is that you can be able to listen to the radio segment without any complications. Like, you can listen to the radio segment as you do other things on your phone, chatting with your friends on WhatsApp, on Instagram, wherever you want to be doing, but the radio is still gonna be running. So if in case you're not able to stream on YouTube, if you're not able to stream on Twitter, if you're not able to stream on the show page or on TikTok, the radio app itself or having an application gives you that chance to stream the radio itself. And of course, once you have that, ensure you also sign in using your username and explore the website. I love using the term explore because you get to explore. You get to see so many things according to, number one, how our programs are aligned. So in case you're missing any shows which are your favorite, all there, like the way my screen is passing, we have all the shows and the time indicated, like the Africa Today show, the Pan African Bliss show, the Rhythm Scoop Show, the Black Kings Frequency, and all the way down. But of course, we shall also be having some changes. The African Diary Show is not on. The Pan-African Diary Show is not on. So of course, we shall be changing a few things on there. But once you have all that, ensure you also rush to the BHFN sports store page, where we're keeping it all organic. Okay, your health is your wealth. You need it. We got it. Come get it. We staying all organic. If you've been working out, we have some sports and nutrition. If you've not been getting enough vitamins, enough sunlight, we have some minerals and vitamins. If you've not been having enough proteins, we also have some amazing proteins, organic amino acids, organic beauty, hair, nail supplements. We're also talking about food and beverages, and also natural extract, all at a very affordable price. We have some multivitamin bear gummies, which is $19. We also have some vitamin D 3000, only $19. Some amazing green superfood, $35 only, and complete multivitamin, $32 only. And under our beauty nails hair supplements, like we said, we've been saying, keep your side chick, your wife, all smelling good and the same scent, so that you won't get caught, and ensure they're all looking good. Don't be walking with crusty people looking like, they're not well kept. Ensure that you're working with peng looking people. Get them some alpha energy. $40. Karibu Sana too. We also have some brain and focus formula that's $9.
Let me say something. I'm in a bad area because I'm gonna go out in a minute. I'm going to the woods. Yesterday they took down our show.
Damn, I knew it. I knew it. You said
it. because I told you, because the influence. See, I still have influence. Now, what they did, no matter what they did to my channel, they knew I still have influence. So I was talking about everything I talked because I went back through everything almost last night. Everything I said is truth, because we've been living in a lie. So they took that shit down and give us no strike, because nothing I said was offensive. It's all based in truth. But that show is gone. That's why I didn't do no show last night. I said, man, I ain't doing no show. They took the show down. They didn't say nothing they knew. So I walked you back through everything last night. Showed you how the world really works. They took all that shit down. We laughed, we joked.
I think we went really deep when we got into the MK Ultra, the Monarch program. I think we really went deep, especially on the Monarch program, because we're talking about how they control, cause people, how it leads to MK Ultra. So I feel like now we're really deep.
We went MK Ultra, we went Monarch. Exactly. We went Monarch, MK, how the world really works. How the world really works. Not that shit you grown up believing. So, so they said, oh no, this got to go.
Yep.
So go ahead, Joey. Let me be quiet.
You had said it though. You had already started saying it even on the show. Like, watch out, they're gonna now be checking our shows because of talking about these elections. And going deeper is because you're also trying to analyze, of course, the video of Alex Jones and what the CIA was talking about. So it makes.
That's it. And then Joby being in Africa, that's another danger. Joby's not supposed to know none of this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Joby, you got it.
They're like these main characters, syndrome woman. Where is she getting this? Where is she googling this information from? Sharing it on this platform. Let's look at her. Crazy, man. But
I thought you supposed to keep that secret shit.
Hey, man, I went crazy, man. I went all the way out. Like, I'll give you more details later. Nah, I'm not keeping this in my heart. I'm not the type to talk about people and then let it slide. I'm gonna tell you how I'm feeling. So tell me how you feel. That's what's up, and that's what I did. But as we get started, of course, with today's conversation, family, ensure you have our application. To everyone who's on TikTok, can you follow the live creator? Everyone on Twitter and YouTube have our application. You can hear the shows are being taken down. So if you want to explore more of these conversations, if you're enjoying, everyone on BitChute too, ensure you all have our application.
That's what Joby said, yeah. BitChute, you gotta put our thumbnail on it. They won't watch. You gotta put that thumbnail on BitChute to get the people to come and see it. But
I told you, I forgot sometimes you have to save there. You have to click the save button.
So you have to save, but
So if I forget,
it's okay, Joby.
Doesn't appear,
Hey, it's a lot of shit. It's okay. Yeah, but fam, I told you that's why I've been doing the shows, at least once a week, just on the network. Shit
Yeah.
we own, just on the
Yeah.
network and the TV station. And I know the reason why Android still has improvement because Android's in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we get approved so quick for Roku and Amazon? Because the streaming software Android is in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's been on 6 months. We still haven't been approved. Like, what's going on? Because we're in Africa. That's a no-no.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I know
Joey.
it's gonna reach a big number of people because we're the majority here, and of course, people have access to Android TVs, of course,
Exactly.
right now, and people have access to internet as well nowadays. Africa is no longer the way it was like 10 years, back then. People right now,
Exactly. Exactly.
Kenya have internet. Nigeria, I'd say the same, probably
Exactly.
despite
What?
the satellites. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
people are
the
really
Android app is the streaming. Exactly. The Android platform is the streaming channels you got in Africa. So why
yeah.
we not been? We got proof of Amazon. We got proof of damn even Apple TV. Got proof of damn Roku. Why is Android still? I say, man, what's with the Android thing? Keith, we don't know. We don't understand this stuff. So never have I know, because that's the major shit in Africa. Those TVs are Android-based software. That's why. Go ahead, Joby.
Excuse me. So, starting, of course, with today's conversation is Nigeria. During, I think, this week or during the weekend, we had demonstrations held, including by teenagers, about the cost of living in the country, which, of course, has been something going on since Tinubu and even before Tinubu. Being president, Nigerians have been complaining about the cost of living, but
Mr. T-Pain.
yeah, Mr. T Pain. I forgot his nickname, man. T Pain. I've only so far captured Ramaphosa's. Ramaphosa is a cupcake. They call him the cupcake. And then we have
Yeah.
ours, who's the tax collector. I love the way Africans just nickname their presidents like that. It's so amazing. Thank you for the gift, Adrian. I appreciate. Nice to see you and Karibu Sana. So let me share this because Tinubu has ordered the release of these teenagers and something we don't quite see in majority of the cases because if probably this in majority of the countries you see these teenagers probably some of them being found dead like we saw in Kenya during the demonstrations. It's an order given, shoot to kill, no matter how innocent you are and all that. So it is really surprising to see that Tinubu was kind of compassionate with the teenagers here.
Nigerian President Bola Tinubu
I think
wanted
I think he has no
to
choice
meet the
because
case.
Nigeria's a fire king. They're scared about revolution.
Yeah,
Africa's been mismanaged so badly. It's at a point that all these leaders are going to get killed. I'm
yeah,
just keep it honest. Africa's been mismanaged so badly, stolen, living so much absolute crazy poverty that
yeah.
the continent shouldn't be in because it's the richest continent. It's on a powder keg. It's on. I think they're only doing it. I don't think he's being nice. I think he's doing it for his own survival, Joey.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Because he's scared. What you're trying to say is that he's scared of um, the people of the country waking up. So he's trying to act
Exactly.
like on the side of them,
Exactly.
for
Yes.
them. I
Exactly.
know you are on the wrong, but I'm gonna favor you. We're not gonna let you walk out with charges, no bail. Just be released. Go home. That's what's up.
Of all minors currently facing trial for taking part in cost of living protests. The announcement was made by the Minister of Information and puts an end to weeks of public outrage. A total of 76 protesters were charged with 10 felony counts including treason, destruction of property, and mutiny. Some of them appeared in court on Friday, with 4 collapsing due to exhaustion before they could
Richest
enter a
continent
plea.
in the world, and all the people on it are poor. Right? There's richest continent in the world, but its people are poor.
Hmm.
What's going on? Go ahead, Joe.
A lot of stealing.
According to the charge sheet, the minors ranged in age from 14 to 17. The presidential directive is without prejudice to the ongoing legal proceedings, though. An administrative committee will be set up to examine all issues surrounding their arrest, detention, and treatment. Investigations are also to be launched into law enforcement agents involved in the minors' arrests. Frustration over the cost of living crisis has led to several mass protests in recent months. The inflation rate is at a 28-year high.
It's at a 28 year high. It's crazy. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. The economy is doing
Exactly.
us, the country is actually getting more in debt, taking loans that are not developing the country in any way. You're not creating any
How is
manufacturing,
Ibrahim Traore not taking no loans? And he
and he's
got
doing
massive development in Burkina Faso. How's that possible? Something's not adding up. How am I living in Burkina Faso when the poorest countries in Africa on purpose kept that way? But now I'm building all this shit in Burkina Faso, not taking any loans. How's this
because
possible?
you finally realize that the loans are just a scheme that has been
Of
made to
course,
make you poverty. It's a
of
cycle
course,
of you have to keep on repeating, going back to, like we read,
of course.
how they set up the IMF, the World
No, you
Bank.
find it's
Not
like,
supposed
and you have a government now that's been completely wiped clean of all the corrupt bastards who's been stealing the money.
Yep,
Africa was all set up as corrupt. All the governments from Kenya, Nigeria got all corrupt, all of them.
yep.
So you go in, you clean the house of all these fake families, you clean house,
Hmm.
and then you put the money that's in there back into developing the country and not people's pockets.
Hmm. Exactly. That is what they should be doing. But of course, they won't do so because we have someone like Dangote, who we've seen, of course, also mistreating, of course, even his workers when they demand for higher wages or different changes in his company, which are set in different 10 African countries. And that was, I think, this weekend or yesterday. He did actually go ahead and reduce the price of oil that is being produced, of course, from his refinery company, which is being cleaned from his company. But we have, of course, some criticism that came on after this, because when I saw that yesterday, I was like, I'm not going to report this. I'm not sure how real this is, but I'm glad to see that people are actually calling this inconsiderate. They're saying that the association explained that the rate of 919 naira, as announced by Dangote Refinery, was inconsiderate based on the fact that the refinery enjoyed massive concession for accessing foreign exchange during the construction of the refinery. The Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Associations of Nigeria has accused Dangote Refinery of attempting to maintain a monopoly in the country downstream petroleum sector, which is true. I mean, they've been doing that. It's been a monopoly since the beginning. Well,
Of
the
course,
way we understand Nigeria is a company, actually, not even a country. There is a company that is benefiting the rest of the world, not itself though. The rest of the world,
exactly.
but not itself. So they also adding that the association made this known in reaction to a calm to be let me read that again. This association made this known in a reaction to a claim by the refinery that anyone importing petrol at lower prices likely brings in substandard product and are posing health and environmental risks. The Petroran, that is the Products Retail Outlet Owners Associations of Nigeria, in a statement on Monday, signed by its National Public Relations Officer, Joseph Obele, allegedly the Dangote refinery's recent claims that Petroran would import substandard petrol products um, and were usual gimmicks to maintain the dominance. He adds that the publication of the Dangote refinery that Petroran will import substandard petrol products is not coming as a surprise to stakeholders because such is his usual gimmick of maintaining a monopoly. The publication was coming after Petroleum and Impan announced plans to sell far less than the current selling rate of premium motor spirit in Nigeria in a statement given. So one, there's a competition of course, which company is doing best, as you can see, who are going to be able to favor Nigerians. We have the Dangote oil refinery, which of course, apart from reducing the prices, these other companies are trying to also fight, of course, is movement. But I'd say this is up to Nigerians to demand again. You can't keep on demonstrating. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Revolution gonna have to be ready. We're gonna have to be the moment you're gonna get tired, all of us, it's gonna be millions dying until they run out of their bullets and realize how many we are, and we can beat them down, literally. And until they're gonna bring, of course, their worship, probably send their people here in Africa, go to Nigeria,
It
help this,
won't.
bring the
It won't.
peacekeepers.
It won't. It won't work. There's not enough white people no more. So they
No,
don't want to. They don't want to direct. Nah. They don't. They guys. They want to. They want to control Africa from behind the scenes because they don't have enough numbers anymore. Not enough
yeah,
white people to do a war in Africa because then they'll You completely out. They don't know that. You don't know. I know that. I know the numbers of white people. They don't have enough white people no more to actually put boots on the ground and come into a country and take it over with just enough white. There's not enough of them that exist. There's not enough babies of them being born. Their populations are decimated, Joby. So that's why they want to do everything from behind the scenes and keep hoping that, just like buy a couple sellout Negroes and let the Negroes do their bidding without putting boots on the ground. Because any direct conflict with Africa from here on out, the boots on the ground destroys Europe and wipes it out. They'll never recover. So that's why they keep talking that bullshit. Maybe we got to go back into Africa again. They're not go back into Africa. That'd be the end of Europe. That'd be the end. These crackers will go back to the Stone Age, wiping their own ass and shit. That'd be the end of their ass. That's it. So
back to the
caves. The caves. That'd be the end. That'd be the end of their ass. They don't have the numbers to do anything like they did, like when they colonized Africa 20 years ago. Those numbers don't exist no more in their population. They don't have the numbers. So any boots on the ground in Africa, and that's what they don't want Africans to know. That's why they keep them dumb and bad education. Any boots on the ground of any European power in Africa wipes Europe ass out.
Period.
Wipes them out.
Yeah, and that's what is going to happen because the awakening of Africans is happening very quickly. Especially, I love the fact that right now, with the generation of the woke who have kids, are teaching children the truth about now the African continent. I told you the guys, there's a time I met a video of this child who was actually explaining about the GDP of the world, especially to be specific, Africa. And he explained even why Burundi is the poorest country in Africa, literally, and so much. And I was like, wow, this is so brilliant of having such a young boy talking about about our continent and the people, because it's not in part of our curriculum. It's nowhere in our education where we're being taught this is what happened during slavery. This is colonization. You are not saved, but you are. This is what happened to you. This is not missionaries. This is the meaning of missionaries. This is what they did when they came with the term missionaries. So I'm so proud to see that right now we're dealing with a generation of people that actually are teaching their children the facts. Like, I really fell in love with that. I'm like, this is so brilliant. We need to bump into more videos of such, of people having their kids talking and expressing the love they have for the continent and understanding what is really, really going on. It has to go back still to us all over again. Like I said, it still goes back all the way to us. But as we get to move on the next conversation, as we talk about moving back to us, trade, like we discussed yesterday about the results of US election and the impact it's going to have in Africa, we saw that trade is one amongst the things. And I spoke about this event last week and said that Africa, when you talk about actually hunger crisis that's right now the UN, the EU, the AU keep on reporting in these fake mainstream medias, Africa should not be on any part of discussion on this, because I love saying, apart from the gold, the silver, the cobalt, and everything we have, soil is one of our most richest resources, and we undermine that. As African people, it's so sad we've lost that sense of understanding, I'd say, sense of understanding that soil is one of the most richest resources we have in Africa. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you try to look at trade, if you try to look at agriculture, it's a really beneficial activity, a multi-billion activity. But again, like I said, very undermined. Most of the people today are running away from the village, coming to the city. I don't know if I'm going to find that video. Did I share that video? There's this lady, I think I shared. Let me see if I can find that video as we get to continue. Because it's so sad to see how people have really underrated how, when we're surrounded by nature, how beautiful it is, why you need to take advantage of it, and all that. Let me see if I can find that video and share it with you guys. Apparently, no, I didn't. But there's this famous, of course, Ugandan lady. I think she's a Ugandan TikToker. very melanin, pretty melanin, dark skin, very pretty melanin. I love it. And she's been mocked a couple of times by white people because, of course, her being in the village. You'll see white people asking her crazy questions like, do you have an internet? Do you live on a tree? Do you have a house? And all that crazy stuff. But like I'm saying, until we start embracing our originality, which starts, of course, coming also from or going back to our soil. Our originality is practicing also our cultures and traditions, which farming was part of it. Let me simplify it that way. Then we're not going to be able to take control of anything. We're going to maintain and be the same position as always. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because of Liberia. As much as it's Liberia. Liberia, what it's doing is that it has reduced the importation of rice by 45%. Let me just read the article as I explain much more. They're saying that Monrovia Agriculture Ministry, Dr. Alexandra, says that with the target of the government of Liberia has placed in through the Ministry of Agriculture, Liberia will grow about 45% of its rice consumes by 2025. Speaking in an interview with journalists over the weekend in Bongo Mines, Lower Bongo County, he underscored a need for the county to go beyond importing rice, for this can only be done by Liberians growing the rice they eat, which is very true. Dr. Nuela is optimistic that Liberians can do it based on what he has noticed across the country. 1 hectare is bigger than an acre, as a hectare contains 2.47 acres or more than 0.4 of an acre. He says that the government is supporting the rice production on 4,696 hectares of land, which is cultivated and could yield about 700 metric or tons of rice. And I believe actually they could do even more than this. 45% is still not enough. You can do even 90%. You can do even actually 100%, leave alone 90%. Why are we even doing 90? You can do 100%. Like completely stop importing food from outside. Feed yourself all the organic, natural food you have right here, produced by you. Every African country has enough land to actually produce food. But these lands, they're talking about hectares, while we have acres being sold to companies like the Italian company in Kenya. I love using that. Kenya sold 300,000 acres of land to an Italian company. I'm meant to figure out till to date what this land is about. But Kenya went ahead and bought 20 hectares, 25, I think 20 hectares of land in Zambia. In the name of them cooperating, investing in each other, trading in production of food. But if I tell you till to date, actually that was this year, we reported Zambia facing hunger crisis. You kind of wonder, what was the deal? What was this deal about? Where is the land? Is there any activity going on? Is there any farming production going on? But you can't figure out none, which is so sad. So I'd say in general, Africa, you can't be producing 45%. It's a good start for Liberia, yes. Of course, stopping the import of food. I'm not gonna just lay on the negative end alone, but also on the positive side. Like here, we can do 100%, not 90%. We can totally do 100%. But shout out to the country. But on the main conversation of the day is about teenage pregnancy. How do I understand teenage pregnancy? Teenage pregnancy, of course, majority, if I try look at my society, my community, my country, teenage pregnancy has increased because of, number one, rape. Secondly, lack of sex education. I'd start with lack of sex education within our households, and that comes and starts with our parents. But majority are so scared to talk about sex education. Secondly, of course, raping. It has increased the teenage pregnancies. Like I said from the beginning of my show, you'll find Like the way I dressed, that was on Friday. You find like that Nigerian motherfucker, pardon me, but true, who you're gonna be walking cross by, and then because you didn't say hi to them, instead of them calling you a prostitute, they rape you. That has increased teenage pregnancies. Teenage pregnancies have also been increased by fathers,
Wow.
uncles, teachers, lecturers, and even bosses in the offices. Not bosses, but that is a whole grown up. I'd say teachers and lecturers. Even in schools, you find where
Wow.
women have actually gotten pregnant because of being assaulted, or they wanted a favor from a teacher. And like
Wow.
I say,
That's crazy.
this all the way it starts, it has to start with sex education. Due to the lack of sex education from home, from our own very parents, you as a teenager, when you walk out there, if you're not taught as you grow up, you're gonna meet men. You need to use condom as a woman. You need to do 1, 2, 3 things. If you're not taught such kind of things, then you find yourself pregnant. But I want to share a video here. I have like 2, 3, 4 videos talking about teenage pregnancy. In
Go
Africa,
ahead.
it has risen, but the topic today is coming from Kenya, but I believe this is an African problem. If you look at majority of the countries like Nigeria, South Africa, the age of consent is so crazy, it doesn't make sense, which has led to so many teenage pregnancies. And like I say, personally, I believe these teenage pregnancies are the main reason why we have the leading poverty that is on the growth. It's
South
growing.
Africa. South Africa, sadly, you got something that's even more sinister. You got eh, I don't know how to even say this. This is so disturbing in my mind. This is in South Africa. You have an epidemic of men raping their own daughters. I
Yep.
can't even imagine this kind of. I'm killing you. Okay.
Let me
I don't want to hear about no reconsent. I don't want to know about no. You can be rehabilitated. No, I gotta get rid of you. This is
so let me
so. That's crazy. Go ahead.
share this very quickly as I help myself.
This young girl, whose identity will not be revealed, is currently the mother of twins. She gave birth to these children at the age of 14 years.
naye nali nfunye omulimu nga gwa capati kati
Baby having babies.
naye nga sirina wa kusula kati oyo omuvubuka n'agamba agenda kunsuza nga ngende nga nkole sobole okuba nga nfuna ssente zenasindikira buto bwange kati awo ne nkola nga naye yansuza olwamala nembeera nga twagalana naye n'anfunisa olubuto.
The nightmare of giving birth when one is underage is one Jennifer Nakaguli knows all too well. She gave birth to her first child when she was still in senior 1.
Era byali byakugamba sigamba nti oba weetegese oba teweetegese nga wonoogamba njagala kino n'ogendayo bw'alimu olubuto ne lukola ki ne lujja. Ffe abafuna embuto nga tukyali tukaluubirizibwa nnyo mu nsonga y'okuzaala lwa nsonga oba tobimanyi.
Children welfare officers in Luweero district place the rise in underage and teenage pregnancies squarely on parents whom they say have neglected their children.
They should scale up their parenting skills. The system has broken.
Let me just restart this again.
This young girl, whose identity will not be revealed, is currently the mother of twins. She gave birth to these children at the age of 14 years.
naye nali nfunye omulimu nga gwa
14, number one, you're a kid. Whoever actually made you pregnant, number one, should be behind bars. But because we have a very non-working system that has normalized this in our society, our countries, our continent, this is why we
Baby's
have
having
this.
baby. That's a baby. That's a baby. Baby having a baby.
capati kati naye nga sirina wa kusula kati oyo omuvubuka n'agamba agenda kunsuza nga ngende nga nkole sobole okuba nga nfuna ssente zenasindikira buto bwange kati awo ne nkola nga naye yansuza olwamala
So this is in Uganda actually, because I can hear the Luganda in it.
nembeera nga twagalana naye n'anfunisa olubuto.
The nightmare of giving birth.
So she says, I think she's either homeless, and this again, it goes back to the parents. Because if you chase me out as a teenager, where do you expect me to go?
There's nowhere to go. Now you're homeless, and you make it even worse. And that's
Exactly.
pregnant.
The world is preying on me. I'm a woman. Of course, I'm a teenager, number one. We have men.
Yep.
We were saying yesterday on the Rhythm Scoop show, it's crazy how men will look at anything, no matter how a woman looks. There's someone who actually is impressed by the way she looks. No matter how raggedy, how crazy she looks, there's always someone attracted to that woman. So we're gonna have women being preyed on, no matter how ugly, how crazy she looks. There's always someone who actually has a target to hit. That is just the truth. So if you look at this kind of case where someone is chased out, you're homeless, your parents are supposed to be your guardians, but now you're chased out, because this has been also one of the things, or one of the cases that has led to these teenage pregnancies. I'm outside there, I'm seeking accommodation, because that's what she's explaining. She was seeking accommodation, she went to this guy, got into a relationship, and he impregnated her. Now she's nowhere to go.
When one is underage is one Jennifer Nakaguli knows all too well. She gave birth to her first
Into
child
relationship
when
at
she was
14 years
sentenced
old.
near one.
Crazy.
byali
13.
byakugamba sigamba nti oba
Crazy.
weetegese oba teweetegese nga wonoogamba njagala kino
And
n'ogenda
this is what Joby's
bw'alimu
talking about
olubuto ne
because she's uneducated. This ignorant breeds ignorance. This ignorant breeds ignorance. And you got children you can't take care of. This ignorant brings ignorance. She can't teach her children nothing because she don't know shit. So this becomes a vicious cycle.
Exactly.
laki ne lujja tofe abafuna embuto nga tukyali tukaluubirizibwa nnyo mu nsonga y'okuzaala lwa nsonga oba tobimanyi.
Children welfare officers in Luweero district place the rise in underage and teenage pregnancies squarely on parents whom they say have neglected their children.
They should scale up their parenting skills. The system has broken down. Each parents should make sure that they, one, engage their children,
Exactly.
talk about issues of sexuality with their children.
Exactly, because again, it starts at home. You are my guardian, you are my parent. You take care of me till the right time where I get to walk out. And during this time, you have to educate me about sex
Exactly.
education. I want to give credit to my
You're
dad.
supposed to you're supposed to teach sex education. Okay, at least you did. Okay, cool. You're supposed to teach your children about sex. That's your job as an adult. That's your
Yeah,
job, moron.
I think there's a time someone had this conversation here, either me or Katie or someone. Think like sexual education, sex education is something that most of our African parents are so ashamed of talking about. Like they're so ashamed of talking about sex. So ashamed. So these are the fact that you can't
I'm
even
gonna
address.
that's called a child. That's called that. But Joby's talking about again. I hate to say, you're talking about a childlike mind. How can you be ashamed of nature? You have a childlike mind. See, and that's what's staying. The Africans been kept in a perpetual state of childhood, of being children. There's nothing shameful teaching your children about sex, unless you're a child in the head. It's a natural thing of life. And that's your job to teach your children. Oh, I'm going to say, you're a child in the head then. And you're dangerous. You're woefully ignorant. Go ahead, Joby.
Girls and also the boys, they should also tell their children to protect themselves against
Sex.
any kind of temptation that comes their way.
Exactly.
The issue of parents neglecting their duties was also alluded to by the First Lady and Education Minister, Janet Museveni.
Because parents must also rise up and play their own role, because it is a big shame to see that while the children are at home, it is the time when most girls have got I don't know whether they call it prematurely pregnant.
However, Anna Kokondakwe, a program officer with SEHAD, begs to differ. She argues that the continued closure of schools has exposed young children to
Exactly, that is true. That is also something else. Like, let me share the next video. Like right now in Kenya, or maybe I don't know if the rest of the African countries are doing the same, but in Kenya we have a 2 month holiday. Right now we have teenagers, of course, at home for 2 goddamn months. If you don't educate your son, your daughter, if you're going out, you mess around, you're gonna find out. You have to tell them, because that's one thing I'd say for me. I used to be told, as much as it came out harsh, because for me I used to hang out with boys a lot. But again, before that, my mom had taught me, especially the moment I started my periods, she told me from henceforth, you mess up, you get pregnant. You do this man does this, you get pregnant. So however you move, be very, very careful. And she told me, you're becoming an adult, you're gonna of course have sex and all that, but remember this and this and these are the consequences. When I met my dad, the same thing. He's like, yo, you can't do this and this and this and this is what you can do. And that's when I learned, like, hey, you can't be having different sexual multiple partners and all that. Sex is an exchange of energy. Being an exchange of energy, you can't be having different spirits, fluids. Because for me, my dad used to talk about the fluids, especially. It's like, you can be having different fluids of different everyone. I'm like, yeah, that's so dusty, that's so nasty. I don't want that. So he kept me educated. It's like, as much as you're hanging with these guys, be very careful. Men will prey on you. Men see the beauty in you. Men see how young you are. You are untouched, so someone is gonna want to touch you. Be very careful with the moves you're taking. So it goes back home. If you have a guardian or parents who cannot educate you this and prepare you for what to face outside there, if you make a decision, then that's when you end up being on the wrong side. Like you can hear, majority of these cases, teenagers have been chased away from home. Now I'm homeless. Go seek accommodation from a male friend. Then this man, of course, has been eyeing me on a different eye. Immediately I'm pregnant. And then if I try come back home, of course, you don't want me because I'm pregnant. That is definitely an African thing. No parent ever takes their children with a kid. Majority. They
You
kick
get
you out.
educated. That's wrong. So I make it even worse, rougher for you. That's something you know. So I haven't taught you. I haven't given you the tools of life so you can live a prosperous life. Then I'm gonna blame you for the shit I didn't teach you. And that's what I'm talking about. This is some backward. I'm gonna be honest. I just be cute. This is some backward ass shit.
Yep.
Okay? I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I don't care who gets mad. This is some backward ass behavior. You're as an adult, you're supposed to grow up into an adult. Your job is to teach your children about sex because they're going. Every boy, every girl are going to have feelings. This is nature, so there's nothing shameful about it. Get out of your goofy Allah and your goofy Christianity shit. And Africans never had this problem. You had your own goddamn controlled shit. This is called a passage of life. These are passage ceremonies you would do. Because you would understand, okay, a woman does this, certain type of woman starts a flower, and not the touch. This is certain things you would do. Okay? It's your job to teach this to your children. I never found this shit uncomfortable. You know what? Because I'm a grown-ass man. And I know my children are going to have feelings. My sons are going to feel a certain way. My daughters are going to feel a certain way. This is nature. So my dog, I'm supposed to be out. My sons came with their first hard-ons. They penis are hard. I go, oh, don't say that. Don't do that. Oh, no. I said, oh, okay. Are you scared? I don't know what it means. It just means your body you're going through puberty. Your body's starting to change and becoming an adult. And this is going to happen, and you're going to be attracted to girls. But there's certain ways, certain things you do and you don't do. If you want your life to be prosperous, you don't want to get anybody pregnant at a young age because you're going to be responsible because daddy is not taking care of your kids, okay? I'm taking care of you. Your job is to take care of your own kids. So you see how hard it is me work every day for food and stuff? Yeah. I say you like being a kid, right? You like playing video games, playing with your friends and all that stuff, right? Yeah. If you have a baby, that's over. Because now I'm not going to put you out because you're my child. But I'm not taking care of your child. That's your job. And then it's going to be harder for you to go to college and do your thing because your kid is going with you. Your kid's not staying with me. That's your responsibility because you're my responsibility. Your child is your responsibility. That's why I was listening to some young lady said the same. The Uber driver had me laughing. Taking me to work Sunday. So
Mm-hmm.
these babies, everything Joby said, these babies having babies. You can see them all on TikTok. They coming taking their kids to their mama's. Oh, I can't take care of this kid, mama. You take it. She said, can't be me. This ain't the joke. She said, can't be me. Don't bring
And
me your. Go ahead,
yeah,
Joby.
that's true. And majority of these kids, you'll find they're the ones using their children even for now. This, because I've seen that on TikTok too. You find now because a baby had a baby, now they're gonna use this kid because you don't know the parenting skills. You find them now. Maybe you have a male child, putting them wigs on. I've been seeing all that crap on TikTok, and I'm like, what the heck are you teaching this child? This is how you're raising a gay, and then when it's gonna become
I
a
ain't see none of that. I ain't see none of
I've
that
seen
crazy
that.
shit.
Man, they're using their male children to do the wigs, the makeup, the lashes, and even young babies.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, you guys are doing,
That's
you are doing it.
that's a dangerous mother. That's the ignorance.
Hmm.
That's what happens. You get born to a moron.
A baby raising a baby, a baby raising a baby. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
As we get to wind up, what I'd say is that we need to educate. Again, like I said, it starts at home. Sex education starts at home. In Africa,
yeah. That's
especially
your
because
responsibility.
it is an ignorance at the highest level that has been taken and normalized. That is the term. They have normalized this. We're having
Yeah.
fathers, like I said, we're having uncles raping children, their nieces, their nephews, and this is supposed to be taken a norm. This is just the people are walking
No,
scot-free. They're
that
being
can't be
bailed
no
out.
more.
They're being bailed out. There's a time I think we had someone who was raped by their uncle, and this guy, the next minute we saw him, he was walking out scot-free because he walked out with a cash bail. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So he's not gonna face the consequences. Someone is pregnant, someone is hurt, someone has been raped, probably someone is hurting, someone is traumatized.
That's a crime, Joby. It's incest and rape. You got to go to prison and understand in America, you go to jail causing rape and incest. Oh my God. You're not going to survive it. They're going to kill you. This is a known thing. You get caught with your crimes going into any prison in America, if you raped your child or incest, the men in there are going to kill you. You're not
Period.
going to survive. They're going to kill you because you're just not going to survive that. Because those crimes are so heinous, Joby.
Hmm.
You can't rape your own baby.
Hmm.
You can't goddamn um what? That's exact man. Can no man can ever come tell me no? Listen, I I gotta get rid of you. You- This
Period.
is so shocking to me that you rape your own baby, your own child. Like, what are you talking about, man? What? What? And just like with Joby's uncle, whoever it was, when Joby told this story, I'd have killed him. You
Yep.
see, what? You, Joby lucky, I couldn't be a parent. Come back. You gonna tell, I always told my daughters, as a child, anybody touch you, you come back to dad, you let me know immediately. There's no shame on you. That's their shame. Anybody touch you inappropriately, you come back and immediately tell me. I don't care who I'm talking to. You interrupt and say, Dad, I need to talk to you now. Motherfucker, you put your hands on my babies. I'm what? What? That's true.
That's true.
That
It
should
could be any.
that should happen to Joby. That should Joby told me. Listen, you wouldn't survive the next day. You wouldn't survive me. Next day. No, I made a mistake. I'm gonna I'm gonna let you meet Jesus. I'm gonna introduce you to him. I'm introducing you to him myself. Yes,
Right.
you're gonna meet him. Okay? I'm gonna introduce him. I'm gonna choke the shit out your punk ass. You
Man.
out of your mind? This child, a girl child, you're gonna traumatize for the rest of her life? Get no justice? Every girl listen to this. You go tell the parent, anybody touch you inappropriately is inappropriate.
Yeah.
Anybody tell you go tell you the most person you feel secure with, your mother, your father, your teacher, you tell anybody you feel comfortable, you feel safe with immediately. That's not your shame. That's their shame. They're filthy.
Hmm.
and
That's
they're
what's up.
predators.
Yeah, but as we wind up, that's of course our conversation for the day, family. Educate your children, educate your nieces, your nephews, because even now, even boys are praised right now. We of course we can see the transgenders out there, moving. You don't know if you're
Yeah,
how if it's gonna be your son next caught in a bad corner. And so educate your children, and educate your children to stay safe, to not trust just people like that. Your private part is your private part. If you give it up, it's on you. No one should force you do something you don't want. That is what should be. But as we wind up, I'll remind you again, for those who are on YouTube, everyone on Twitter for the first time, and also on YouTube, kindly ensure you subscribe, of course, and ensure you also have our application. That is the most important thing. Subscribing is not going to help you. Having our
yeah.
application
Get
actually is the
the get
most
the
important.
application.
Yeah,
Exactly.
'cause you're gonna get the shows, all of them, the pre-recorded shows, of course, the ones that you missed, and you get also to see what time are other shows so that you don't miss them. They are all on the application if you get to explore the page. But to remind you to check out our amazing organic products. We're talking about multivitamin bear gummies, $19, vitamin D3 $2019, green superfood $35, complete multivitamin $32, and also under our beauty hair nail supplement, we're talking about the Alpha Energy $40, brain and focus formula $39, consecutive support $29, colon gentle cleanse $35. And our beverages are talking about the Manuka honey coffee, which is $59, mushroom coffee fusion coming from the lion maize and the chaga $36, hemp coffee blend medium roast $32, and the Brazilian blend $31. And last but not least, we also have the natural extracts. We have some additional there. We're talking about the platinum turmeric, $25. The moringa, for those who have been asking, $26. The lion maize mushroom, 33, and also the honey goat weed. Don't let that woman cheat on you. Get yourself energized with some energy as well. Only $28. But
I
much
think
love for you.
I
Thank
think a
you.
woman's gonna cheat on you whether when she wants to or not. Ain't nothing to do with you satisfied. A
If you're
woman's
doing
gonna
right, she
cheat.
won't. If you're doing right, she won't. The pocket is right. I'm being treated right. There is emotional availability. And all that. There's how many people?
Women are hypergamous. Women's always looking for the next best thing. So
Oh my God.
that not every woman, but the modern woman, because she's with you just until she finds something better, guys. To understand, sometimes women always look for the next best thing, and that might not be you.
Yeah.
Might not
Also,
be
family
so.
much love. Ensure you check out our honey goat weed. Don't listen to Kate. She's not living. Get the honey goat weed, kindly. Please, family, see you guys on the Black Hits frequency, and come
Much
back and catch
love.
up with the HFN countdown, which money and Kamlesh. Wharton is not in today, but ensure, of course, you tune in on the radio and on TikTok as you get to see them, and on the website as well, Manze.
And
Enjoy the
guys,
amazing.
if you want to know what we talked about, yes, I think Joby might have put it up on bitch. I don't know if it's on bitch. I know it's on Twitter. Yeah, I know it's on Kids on Bitch. I know it's on Twitter too, guys. They took us down because I went methodically back to all the lies, how the world really works. See, you're not to know the truth. Everybody's been living in an illusion, a reality of lies. Everything you've been taught is a goddamn lie. So I went methodically back and showed you who runs this world, how it really works, and what the fuck is really going on. Why is
Yep.
Africa poor? Why is America a fake ass country? Why is China a fake ass country? Yeah, this is all real shit. So
Okay.
they just took it all down. Nah, you can't be teaching. And I methodically told you what books to get, what time period, everything you've been living is a lie. And all you morons following these damn racist ass goopy motherfuckers, they put that dumb ass, what's that dumb motherfucker, that Tate dude? What's this, that Tate, that other Jordan Peterson? I'm glad Joby put the juxtaposition of that dumbass Jordan Peterson moron that the other guy destroyed. I was about to destroy him too, but Joby had the other guy already waiting. I didn't know. That was beautiful. And the other dude that just destroys all arguments. And that other moron, was it Andrew Tate, that other fake phony ass, fake half cracker, whatever the fuck he is. That's a CIA goddamn ultra. All these morons all these dudes be following this idiot. Morons a CIA plant, you morons. Anyway, much love. Jordan
Much love.
Peterson, stupid ass.
See you guys later. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Much love. And you.